everybody. I just want to continue to kind of plug along here and encourage everybody to, again, create a schedule that includes 30 minutes of workout time every day, and then obviously make sure you do it. And if you're not feeling up to it, find something that motivates you to want to. We all need exercise right now. We all got to, it's such a good thing, especially with remote learning and everything else in between, to be able to do this. Okay, and then also to make sure, it might be a good idea to kind of pre-plan what you need, what kind of space you need, what kind of space you might need to clear off in your house, your garage, or your bedroom, or your living room, wherever you're doing this. Maybe what kind of household items you might need, and then obviously maybe getting a timer or your watch or a cell phone or what have you, some kind of timer or anything else you might need to work out. Today's workout is going to consist of our 5 basic things: warm up, muscle-specific exercises, core work, superset cardio, and then our cool down flexibility. So we'll start you off here, obviously, with our warm-up. Our warm-up is going to be, first off, 2 minutes of stretching, and our first is going to be a standing, quad, and reach. And so we want to be able to put our quad up against something, or excuse me, our foot up against something, just stretching one quad at a time. And from there, we're going to reach, and we can lock fingers and reach with both hands, both arms. So that way we can then push this hip out, and we can stretch our lower half of our quad, now becomes into the top half of our quad, which now gets into our hip flexor, and it gets into the lower part of our abs. And we want to have this standing quad reach for 1 minute per side. So after 1 minute there, we simply switch and get off to the other quad. Okay, so 2 minutes total of stretching. We're going to continue on warming up with 1 minute of air squats. And so with our air squats, we just want to make sure our feet are a little more hip width and shoulder width. We want to make sure our toes are pointed forward. We want to make sure our chest is up, our eyes are up as we do 1 minute of air squats. Our third thing that we're going to do for our warm-up is called mountain climbers. And mountain climbers is when we're on all fours, okay, so hands and feet, and we're simply going to go back and forth with our legs. So 1 minute of mountain climbers. We want to do this in a slow way to start. It obviously activates our hip flexor, but it also activates our core. And it also kind of just gets our heart pumping just a little bit. So right now we want to go ahead and pause and get our 3 exercises, or our 3 things in for our. Okay, now moving on to our muscle-specific exercises. We have 3 of them today. We have one for our upper body. We have one for our upper body, 1 for our lower body, and then our third one is going to be kind of an explosive type of movement. So for our first one, we're going to do what's called an elevated push-up. And so the elevation is going to be our hands are higher than our feet. And so we're going to need a couch, a chair, or a bench, something in which we can put our hands, and we simply will do a push-up from here. And we're going to do this for a specific time, in which we're going to do 3 sets of just 30 seconds of an elevated push-up. Okay. Our second exercise is going to be a goblet side lunge. And so goblet meaning you want to hold something in the front of our body. Just go ahead and use a bucket here. I could use a backpack. I could use that cooler. I could use a textbook. I could use basically any basic household item, but I'm going to hold it in front of my body, in front of my chest. And a side lunge is simply going to be where I'm stepping off to my side. One leg becomes straight as I'm squatting down with one leg on the other side. I want to squat as low as I can. I want to try and get my hip below my knee, or parallel with my knee. And I'm going to go ahead and do 8 times to one side and 8 times to the other for a total of 16 reps. We're doing 3 sets of goblet side lunges. Our third exercise today is going to be what's called a push press. And you're going to try and find an object in which you can use both hands. And both hands, the grip is basically kind of what you got. But what we're going to end up doing on a push press is where I'm standing, but I'm squatting down, and I'm simply then using my legs, my hips, and my arms to full extension to get up to where my elbows are locked at the top. Okay, so you're going to do this for 3 sets of 30 seconds. It could be a fast movement. It's all kind of based on what kind of resistance you might be having. It could be a slow moving. You're only maybe getting 8 to 10 reps in those 30 seconds. Go ahead and just do 3 sets of 30 seconds on a push press. Okay, go ahead and pause it up. Come back for core. For our core today, we have 3 exercises for you to do. We've done all 3 of these in the past, so I'll go somewhat quick. Our first one is going to be a butterfly sit-up, where we are in that butterfly stretch position, where our feet are to the bottom of our feet are together and our elbows are out. What we do is we simply come back to a basically sit-up position, arms crossed or behind our head, arms crossed preferably. We simply come up. The most important thing is the reason why we're in a butterfly position is so our shoulders can go past our hip line, so we can have our upper body further than our lower body. So that is a butterfly sit-up. That's going to be our first exercise in core work today. Our second is going to be a glute bridge, something that we've done in the past, where our feet are flat on the ground now, and we're simply bringing our hips up. This time, we want to do 3 sets of 10, and we want to contract our lower back and pause for 3 seconds at the very top of a glute bridge. Our third exercise for our core is going to be a plank, but with a row. So you could include a dumbbell, potentially, if you have one. I would just do with your straight arm, in which you're in a basic push-up position, and we're simply rowing up, back, and forth as we hold a plank position. Again, staying solid in the core, always in a plank position. So we have 3 exercises for core today. Let's go ahead and pause and do them, and come back for superset. For superset cardio today, we have 9 minutes of superset cardio today total. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 rounds. Each round is going to be 3 minutes in length. So now let's talk about what equals that 3-minute round. That 3-minute round will consist of 4 total exercises. The first exercise is going to be 1 minute of jumping. So we're going to do 1 minute of jumping rope, if you have one. If you don't have a rope, that's fine. You can also do 1 minute of jumping jacks. Okay, so 1 minute of some sort of jumping. The second exercise is going to be a 30-second 4-point plank. So now we're getting back into our core. Our third exercise is going to be 1 minute of mountain climbers. We did slow motion mountain climbers for our walk today. Now we want to speed up the pace a little bit in our mountain climber and have a little bit faster feet. And our fourth and final exercise today for superset cardio is going to be 30 seconds of butterfly sit-ups. So jumping, planks, mountain climbers, butterfly sit-ups. That will equal a 3-minute round. We'll do 3 minutes, 3 total rounds. At the end of our third round, I want you to take your heart rate and record it in weekly log 15. Let's go ahead and pause and do our superset cardio. Again, now we want to make sure we record our heart rate after our superset cardio. Now we're in the cool down flexibility stage and the 5th and final stage of our workout. What we're going to do is we're going to do 4 minutes of stretching today. We're going to go back to the original, the first thing that we did today, and that is a standing quad and reach stretch. Now let's try and get a little bit further and a little bit deeper, okay, and how far away our feet are, and then how far we can push this hip forward. Now getting into our core when we reach. We want to do 1 minute per leg. Our next stretch is going to be an upper body stretch, and that's simply where now we're grabbing our door and we're coming forward as far as we can. We're going to hold this for a minute. Other things that we can do is we can do one arm at a time. Okay? We can also grab and come across this way or come across the front side. Okay? But we just want to do 1 minute of upper body. I think the best way to go is here. We'll do those other angles tomorrow. Our fourth and final is going to be a sitting hamstring, in which now we're on our butt. Both legs are long, and now we're simply stretching our hamstrings. That is our entire workout of the day. Again, 5 components. Find 30 minutes and do the best you can. See you guys.